A very good evening. I would like to wish to all of you. So as all of you know, the title of today's webinar is Junction of Choices. So most of you over here might be a final year student or just finish your final year degree. Or maybe some of you might just finish your master's or on the way finishing master's and thinking of what to do. Are you going to pursue a master's or pursue a PhD then? All right, so today's webinar is going to focus on that, on junction of choices, whether you are ready to embark yourself in a postgraduate journey. All right, so before we start off further, let's start off with the quotation on this first line. All right, follow your dreams, believe in yourself, and don't give up. Now, if you have the passion to pursue a postgraduate journey, just follow your dreams to do it. Do not listen on all the negativities out there. Do not listen on those pessimistic remarks of your postgraduate journey. Just remember to believe in yourself, and eventually you will finish it by not giving up. All right, something about me, a little bit about myself. I am Dr. Esther Hui, the Chief Editor of Paraclete Services. Okay, I received my degree of education in TESOL. TESOL is Teaching English to Speakers of Other Languages. And I graduated as a first-class honors student for University Science Malaysia in 2011. Then I continued with my master's in applied linguistics this time, not in TESOL, but in applied linguistics in English language. And my research area for master's focused more on applied linguistics, which is syntax, that is on sentence structure in English language. So my research area focused on sentence structures in complaint business letters. Then after that, finally, I pursue my PhD somewhere far and wide to UPM. All right, and my research area was on applied linguistics as well, but this time is on syntax in business news. So basically, I was just conferred my PhD last month as a doctor. So just very new, and so I'm now Dr. Esther Hui. All right, so let's look at what are the do's and don'ts. So in these webinars, I'm going to give you tips and guidelines and what to expect when you want to do a master's or PhD. Okay, so there are 4 do's in green and 4 don'ts in red. Green on the left side, red on the right side. Okay, which I'm going to emphasize and highlight slowly, right, in each point on my other slides. Okay. All right, so for the do's, now if you follow these tips and guidelines, it will help you to enable your postgraduate journey to be better than expected. Okay, so basically you have to pause and reflect, reason it out, be active, and listen out. Okay, so I'm going to explain on each of these points slowly and steadily so that each of you will understand. Yeah. Okay, so point number 1, you have to pause and reflect. Do pause and reflect. Okay, so basically you need to know that you do this postgraduate journey because it will give you a better prospects in your preferred career. So basically, if let's say you think that you want to pursue on to work as a scientist or maybe a lab assistant and so forth, so you will research something that is related to the area, right? So in order for you to be embark on in your preferred career later on. So these research studies that you have will help you to determine your preferred career later on. Secondly, okay, for research, normally you have 2 modes, yeah? Basically either research or thought. So the thought is basically depends on the university, whether it's mixed mode or coursework. Okay, so basically, when you want to embark onto a master's or PhD, I would suggest for you to do on the research because you will be passionately researching on the things that you like. But if let's say you are not from the same background, for example, you just graduated in a degree in sciences and you suddenly want to do a master's in education and you had no basic concepts or background about education, then I would suggest you to do either mixed mode or coursework, depending on the university. So basically, you will have to research all these courses for you to get yourself prepared in order for you to write a thesis at the end of the day. Now, for mixed mode or coursework, basically you will have to have a thesis written during your final 2 semesters. All right. Now, if let's say you have an experience in doing basically degree in science and you want to continue with masters in sciences, right? So I would suggest you to do research because there is no fixed time and limits for you to finish your research. Okay, so basically it will also help you if let's say you want to continue on to do your PhD. So if this research will be developed over a period of time during masters, and it will help you to determine yourself to do well and get better prepared during your PhD days. Okay, now basically those who are doing mixed mode and coursework, I'm not saying that you are not good enough to do a PhD, but if you are disciplined and have a positive mindset, you'll be able to do your PhD as well. So there are two modes of research. So basically, you have to see which one is capable and relatable to you. All right, research on universities. Make sure you know the background of the universities and the details of the universities before applying to pursue your master's or PhD. This is particularly important because universities will help you to determine whether you are able to finish your studies on time or not. Okay, so you need to know the background of the universities. Do not go in blindly, just research on this particular university that you want to venture in. All right, research on supervisors. Make sure you know your potential supervisors. So what I would suggest is go to the university's website, research on the potential supervisors who are related in your area, get to know about them, all right, and get to check their background. Maybe there will be curriculum vitae, CV, or resumes in their website. So get to know all the background from them. And then from there, you will also have emails, if you're not mistaken. Then try to communicate with your supervisor, potential supervisor, to talk with your potential supervisor about the research that you want to pursue on and see whether the emails will be replied faster than ever, because this will actually determine you to have a communication with your supervisor as well. So you can see whether these supervisors will help you to finish your master's or PhD on time as well. So remember to know that this potential supervisor of yours will be able to guide and lead you later on and to finish your master's or PhD on time. Okay, so basically you must know the things about your supervisor before continuing on further. All right, so you need to reason it out. Reason it out by knowing the strengths and weaknesses. Okay, so basically you need to know that you should not avoid joining the working world, and then because of that you do a postgraduate study. This is not the right reason for you to do that, yeah, because by doing that you are actually escaping reality. Okay, which means you are not ready, so you need to reason it out. Okay, but try to take a year of gap. Okay, so make sure when you are done with your degree days, your undergraduate studies, take a year gap to reflect on whether you are ready enough to continue on to do a master's or not. Okay, so postgraduate journey is full of ups and down moments. So are you ready to pursue and continue on with that? All right, so the weakness is not to spend some time working in a row. Now, before doing a postgraduate journey, okay, before starting a postgraduate journey, you need to be a researcher yourself. Okay, so basically, just now I said you research on the supervisor and research on university. Now, a researcher should be a multitasker as well. So you should not only spend time, yeah, in a row, but be a multitasker, because you have to read theses and articles for you to get ideas, to gather points, and also views, and also to write thesis as well as to publish papers. So you are a multitasker to do it, okay, to pursue your postgraduate journey. Okay, and also remember to check out on the worst reasons. The postgraduate journey is not always smooth. It's just like a bed of roses. Okay, so roses is usually very nice with nice fragrance, yeah, but also there are thorns. So remember, there are also disadvantages, yeah, of doing postgraduate journey. So remember to check out on the worst reasons, so that you are ready and prepared to face on either your master's or a PhD. Okay, you do not do a postgraduate journey because you follow the trend. Okay, so basically following the trend, following what your friends like to do is not a good choice for you, because your friends might be better off than you. Your friends might be able to research on the things that they are passionate about, but just by following them, it's not a good choice for you. It's not a good reason for you, because it's your research, it's your journey, and you might feel very stressed out if you just follow your friend to do it. Okay, so it's your journey. Be prepared about it. So know your purpose. If you are passionate of doing the things to help the community in contributing to society by doing just a minute thing, that you are ready enough to continue on. Okay, so know the purpose of doing it. Not just to follow the trend, but to know the purpose. All right, you must be active in your postgraduate journey. Okay, do not isolate yourself from friends. Firstly, you have to attend webinars or conferences. Right now, there are a lot of free webinars online. Okay, so that you can actually attend, and you don't need to pay. There are a lot of webinars right now to teach about the skills required for postgraduate studies and so forth. So attend all these webinars to get the skills required, to learn all these concepts, to see whether you're better prepared or not to do a master's or PhD. All right. Okay, and to present in conferences. Now, basically, back then during my degree days, I was forced by my lecturers to present in a conference before graduating 2011. That was 10 years ago. So basically, I was attacked from head to toe because I did not know my research back then. So naive, right? But it was a good exposure and a stepping platform for me to pursue my master's and PhD. So what I would encourage all of you is to basically present in conferences. Now, because when you do a postgraduate study, you cannot fully depend on supervisors, because supervisors are not always free. They are always busy with a lot of students. So you present your research in a conferences to get the progress and updates about your research. And basically you will get to know what are your strengths and weaknesses of your research. So it's good enough for you to learn a lot throughout these conferences as well. Okay, and then join competitions like 3 minutes thesis competition, thesis in 5 minutes competition as well. All right, so during my PhD journey, I actually joined a lot of competitions. So I actually joined 3-minute thesis competition twice, lost once, won once, and then at the end in the faculty level, but in the university level, I lost. Okay, but that was not why I actually joined. I joined to boost my confidence level, to improve my communication skills so that I'm better prepared for my Viva. You know, Viva is the last stage of presentation to determine whether I pass or not. Right. So then it will help me to gain to boost my self-esteem as well. So, and also in thesis in 5 minutes competition, I joined it somewhere in March, and I won the gold medal award. So not necessarily when you join a competition you need to win, yeah, but it's to join for you to gain a lot of exposure, to improve yourself more and more. Okay, challenge yourself to be better. Okay, not only to for your research but also in your speaking skills as well, communication skills. Okay, be active in postgraduate activities. Okay, if let's say there are a lot of events, do socialize yourself and go out and explore. Okay, do not get yourself just isolate yourself. Yeah, basically because of that. Get yourself exposed with people around you. Get yourself exposed to the activities and be active, right? Create a peer support group. Okay, so it's important for you to have a peer support group. Masters or PhD journey is not a lonely journey if you do not make it a lonely journey. So creating a peer support group is particularly pertinent for you to know and counter check and balance to check your progress with your friends, just to get yourself updated of the things that are around. So I still remember I had my very down moments because I was actually diagnosed with major depression back then. So this peer support group actually helped me to come out from the dark days and to know what I need to do to change supervisor. So I actually changed supervisor after 3.5 years. So this peer support group helped me and motivate me to be who I am right now, to change my perception of why I do a master's or why I do a PhD. Okay, remember to talk to past students. Okay, it's very imperative because you need to know what the past students are doing right now. Are they employed? Are they not employed? Okay, so basically it's very important to know because it will determine your future later on. Okay, on your career prospects, on your job scopes and so forth. Know how the past students are funded. This is particularly important because you need to know the expenses and costs that are required to do a master's or PhD. So please talk to them, talk to your past students in order to know what is required, how much you need to pay. And honest views from the students. You need to know the good side and the bad side of doing a master's or PhD under this potential supervisor of yours or under in this and studying it in the particular university. So you can get your mindset set and ready and prepared. Okay, whether you're ready or not to continue on. Okay, so what are the don'ts that you need to know? Okay, because this might be a hindrance for you, okay, to finish your master's or PhD journey. So impulsive decision, rely too much on university rankings, forget about funding, and always looking down on postgraduate journey. Okay, for impulsive decision, right? What I mean by that, do not rush into any decision, especially when you want to pursue your master's or PhD, because at the end of the day, you will regret it. Okay, it's your journey. Yeah, you need to decide for it. So know that it's expensive and time consuming. Okay, check out the costs required. Okay, so know that it's expensive and time consuming. So you need to plan with your supervisors on the timeline that you need to do for you to finish your master's or PhD. So because master's is 2 to 3 years, PhD is 4 to 6 years, depending on how fast you do it. Yeah, so plan it out well, but do not rush into it. Okay, and remember that you want to do your master's or PhD not because you want to do it for the sake of doing it, because you rush into it, but you do it with quality. So when you finish it within your time frame. If let's say you need to graduate on time because you're funded by scholarships, okay, then you have to have a proper guideline and timeline of when you want to finish it. But if you are not fully sponsored or funded by scholarships, then make sure that you are able to finish it with quality. Do not rush into it. It doesn't mean that you need to graduate on time. If you graduate over time, but your quality, but the research is of quality, then it's worth it because it's more of a novelty. You can contribute more to the society. Like for me, I did it in 5.5 years, and I did not regret that because I know that my research is of quality. I hope it's of quality and could help at least a little bit to the society. Okay, you need to know and you need to evaluate your wants and needs. You need to know what you want to do and what you need to do in order for you to pursue a research in master's or PhD. So you must evaluate, you must know the strengths and weaknesses. Okay, you need to know your wants, so you have to list it out, and you need to know what you need. Yeah, you need to know want and need. Okay, there's a difference in it. Okay, do not pick a course without researching. Okay, so for example, if your research is related to quantitative data collection, okay, but then suddenly you pick a course that is related to qualitative data collection, which means that you suddenly went to check on transcribing interview and how to code about interview. That is qualitative, but your research is on quantitative. Yeah, so it's not related. Yeah, so do not pick a course without researching. Know the course that is related to your area. So what is related to your research area? So if it's quantitative, so maybe you might need to enroll yourself in a course for SPSS, AMOS, Smart PLS, and so forth. There are a lot of quantitative courses, yeah. So basically get enrolled with that. Okay, so do not waste so much of time if let's say you are funded or sponsored by scholarships. Okay, do not pick a university without researching as well. Make sure that you know the university that you are going to pursue your master's or PhD. Know the background, know where it's located. Okay, basically it's important because you do not want to get lost when you get there. When you get lost, it's a very terrible issue because if you do not know the people there, there's no one to help you. So please remember to pick a university when you are ready, when you have a lot of research to do. So be a researcher, yeah? A lot of researching to do. Okay, do not rely much on university rankings. Okay, now, like what I said earlier on, university will determine your graduation, yeah, but not on university rankings. So, like for example, in Malaysia, we have 4 top research universities, yeah, but it doesn't determine your graduation because if let's say, for example, you are from Harvard University, okay, maybe the well-known university, but but you're not disciplined to finish your master's or PhD, then it doesn't require you to basically graduate, yeah? So basically, no, don't rely too much and emphasize on rankings, but emphasize on finishing your studies. Okay, make sure that the course is suitable for you. Okay, sometimes that's why you need to talk with a lot of people. Make sure that this course is related to you. Talk to your supervisor, talk to your advisor, talk to the lecturers, talk to a lot of people. Okay, get yourself known whether this is course. Maybe you might think that okay, this course is unknown for me. Is it related to my research area or not? So talk to people and make sure that it's related. If it's related, please register. Okay. Make sure that the location is a great match. Okay, so basically, hopefully the location is a very convenient place for you. Okay, but if it's not, like for example, you are going to another place, like for me, I'm from Penang, and suddenly I went to UPM, which is in Selangor. So I had to really basically know that this location is it convenient for me. The place where I stay, is it near to UPM and so forth. So make sure that the location is a great match. Make sure the lifestyle is okay. So for example, if let's say you are the type of person who does not like the hustle and bustle of the city, do not go to that place then. Research on the lifestyle that is suitable for you. Okay, so if let's say you think that is not a good place for you, it might affect your progress. Okay, so make sure that the lifestyle is suitable and relatable to you. Okay, this is a very terrible issue because most of the students forget about funding. Yeah, so if they cannot uh, remember about funding, they will not be able to finish their studies because I have friends who couldn't finish their studies due to lack of funding. Okay, so remember to tick on how you are funded throughout your studies. Make sure you know the costs and expenses that you need for funding. Okay, so remember to plan it out. Okay, plan it out well. Okay, so make sure that your cost is also right. Make sure that your funding is not gone to wasted. It does not go wasted, but make sure that this funding will help you to finish your course well. Okay, check for scholarships available. Okay, there are research assistants, graduate research fellowships, scholarships abroad. Okay, so for some universities, most universities in Malaysia, we have graduate research assistants, which means that the supervisors have grants. Yeah, so when they have grants, they will hire, grants means money allocated for research. So they will hire research assistant to work for them. So they have a title for you already. So basically, you will become the research assistant. For graduate research fellowship, basically you are the scholar, fully sponsored by either School of Graduate Studies, UPM is School of Graduate Studies, USM is Institute of Postgraduate Studies. It's the graduate studies session, okay, funded to help you in your research. So basically, when you are the graduate research fellowship scholar, you will help your supervisor in assisting lessons, preparing materials, and help them in the research. There's a difference, yeah, because when you go in as a graduate research fellowship holder, you are not given a title. You research your own title, but you are funded, you are paid by School of Graduate Studies, Institute of Postgraduate Studies, or these graduate study sessions in other universities, okay? Or you have also scholarships abroad. So you have to get to know all these scholarships that are available in the website, okay? Check it out, all right, to see whether they are available or not, okay? Now, too bad that My Brain 15 is not available right now because I was sponsored by My Brain 15 for my master's and my PhD. So basically right now it's not available, but there are a lot of available scholarships around. So you need to research it yourself, okay? And then research on expenses and living costs. So do remember that it's not only the expenses and tuition fees for your studies, but also on living costs. So for me, like what I said earlier on, I'm from Penang and I did my PhD at UPM. So basically, I need to cover a lot of expenses and costs in terms of rental of the house, the petrol, the toll, and so forth. So you need to plan it out. Okay, make sure you plan it out well and save your money because later at the end of the month you do not have enough of money to support yourself. Okay, and research on expenses to present in conferences. There are financial aids given to students to present research internationally abroad. So for me, I actually presented my PhD research in Hong Kong and I was sponsored fully by School of Graduate Studies. So you have to actually look around, search around, search on the various websites, search on the things that you need to do. Basically, if you have no funds, okay, to sponsor yourself, so look at it, search for it. Okay, now remember, research, research, research. Research comes from the word search with the prefix with the prefix research. So it's research. So you need to search, 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 and search. So that's why research. Okay, so you are a researcher, yeah. Okay, and then do not look down on your postgraduate journey because many students are surprised at how intense postgraduate degree is. It's not another degree, okay? So most of the students, when they venture into postgraduate, they got shocked with the intensity, with the stress level, with the pressure. Okay, so make sure that you know that this postgraduate journey is not a play thing. Okay, once you get into it, you need to get mentally prepared. Not only mentally prepared, physically prepared means you are on the run. Okay, when you embark into the journey. So you do not want to fail at the end of the day. So be prepared. You will have to spend less time going out socializing. Okay, not to say that you need to isolate yourself and lock yourself in the room and put yourself in a cave. Yeah, no, I'm not saying that. You can just go out. Okay, but remember to be disciplined. So like what I want to tell you, my story back then, I was actually very busy teaching at UOW KDU Malaysia, Penang. So basically, it was not a very smooth journey for me because my morning and afternoon times were spent for teaching. So I only had time to do my thesis writing at night and also reading at night as well. So during the weekends, I had to back up to read and also evaluate on the things that I need to read. Yeah, so basically, I spend less time socializing during the weekends. Yeah, but still has time for social activities. Just that you need to be disciplined, okay, and also have the positive mindset to do the thesis. Don't let it go. Okay, continue with your momentum. Okay, and then you should be committed to finish it without losing interest. So when you want to embark into your postgraduate journey, make sure you have the passion to do it. Make sure you know what you intend to do. Make sure you know your research area well. Make sure you know what you read and what you write, because it's going to determine whether you will pass your Viva or not. So it's very crucial. Yeah, I'm not jokingly saying that you have to do it, but because of based on experience, so you will have to know and be mentally prepared about it. Okay, that's all for now. So basically, I just want to tell you that if you want to pursue on your postgraduate journey, remember, don't ever compare yourself with other people's journey. Compare your journey with your yesterday journey, which means yesterday you did your journey, compare it with yesterday. If it's not productive, do it today and do it more productive than yesterday. Okay, don't compare with others. Graduating on time is important, but if let's say your mental health or your health issues influence you not to continue on, then defer, stop yourself for a while. Okay, get yourself recovered and then continue on. If you are not able to finish your postgraduate journey, it's not a waste of time, all right? Because the experiences and the journey that you went through is worth more than 1,000 words that you can tell. So basically, it's you, it's your journey, yeah? So that's all I would share for now. Now I'm going to the question and answer session.